Let's talk today about procrastination. Specifically, procrastinating on a project or activity that you know you really want to do. Not just avoiding doing the laundry, but avoiding doing something that's important to you. Say, avoiding writing the next chapter in your book, or avoiding updating your resume so you can go for that dream job, or, avoiding asking out that person for coffee, whatever it may be. The exact mechanics and details of your procrastination are, of course, unique to you, and there can be a few factors that go into it. But I'm going to bet that at least part of what's going on is that there are negative voices in your head telling you a lot of negative stuff about you doing the thing that you want to do. Telling you, maybe even yelling at you about all the reasons why you shouldn't do it. So every time you approach that thing, the voices get louder and meaner. So of course you're avoiding it. It makes sense. It's much better to watch a few episodes of your favorite show or randomly clean out the silverware drawer than experience that negative self-talk. You may not even know that it's negative self-talk. You may just have a sense that you don't feel good when you approach doing the thing that you want to do. Like, why do I simultaneously really, really want to do this thing, but also super duper dread it? Well, I'm going to suggest that it's negative self-talk. And that's a big part of what's making you feel yucky when you approach doing this thing. And therefore, it makes you avoid doing this thing. Thus, procrastination. So, why do these negative internal messages exist? And why are they winning the battle? See, in my opinion, they are there to protect us. Keep us safe. Keep us from taking unnecessary risks. But those voices, they're not always calibrated to modern life. I mean, we don't need the same voices that hold us back from getting too close to a tiger to also hold us back from updating our resume. It's not exactly physically dangerous to write a chapter of a book. I mean, yes, there can be real emotional blows if things don't work out, but I think these voices consistently underestimate our resilience. We can bounce back from those blows better than those voices think we can. I think the meanie in your head is underestimating you. Furthermore, these voices consistently get the cart before the horse. Just because you write that chapter doesn't mean you have to show it to everybody and be vulnerable to withering critique. It just means you wrote that chapter. And from there, you have the power to do whatever it is you want to do, whether that's write the next chapter or show it to somebody or do any number of things. So, having negative internal messages that tell you why you shouldn't take action, those messages, they can come in different variations. And if you want to get to know them, you might check out Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic. Reading the early chapters of that book may awaken you to what some of those voices might be saying. When I read those first chapters, I was like, yep, sounds familiar, yep. So identifying the content of those messages may be a good first step in dismantling them. Now, some people use reasoning to refute those internal messages. I prefer not to engage them. Why? Because that critic, that inner meanie, it's sneaky. It sounds rational, but it's not. Once you come back to it with an argument about why it's wrong, it just sneaks around and comes up with some other nonsense about why you shouldn't do that thing that you want to do. Sometimes even co-opting a positive message and then twisting it for its own use. Yeah, my inner critic's pretty devious. So rather than taking that approach, I do like we do in meditation. I notice those thoughts and messages and then let them pass by. No, thank you. Or, thanks for your contribution, inner critic, but I'm going to let you walk on by because I'm doing this important and beloved activity anyway. So noticing those thoughts so you can let them float on by, to me, is the real trick here. And practicing meditation will really help you do that. Getting better at noticing the thoughts is something you can do with practice, and meditation is a perfect place to practice. In meditation, you'll observe the thoughts, and with that, you may even have a sense that you are separate from the thoughts. You don't have to let those thoughts invade you, to take over your whole outlook, for you to believe them whole hog. They are just thoughts. You've seen that bumper sticker, don't believe everything you think? I think that's the perfect motto for procrastination. So, Talk therapy or talking to our friends can be a great way to get to know the specifics of the inner voices in our head. Those both can be very valuable, and I encourage them, of course. But also, we have the power to do this on our own. And furthermore, sometimes when we talk to others, we get lost in the content of the thoughts, when actually, for me, I think it can be better not to engage with that content, but just to let those negative thoughts float on by. So if you like, why don't you join me for a few minutes as we practice here together? So take a moment to get comfortable wherever you are. You can sit, you can stand, you can lie down, maybe on your belly, on your back. You can put your feet up the wall, whatever works for you. If you can, I think it's nice to be somewhat symmetrical so your body's energy can flow evenly. So of course, if you want to curl up on a couch, you can if you want, but maybe consider sitting up or, getting yourself a little more aligned. There's no wrong answers here. As you settle in, let your eyes rest down, or if comfortable, you can even let them close. We're just settling in here, coming back home to yourself. Now for this practice, we're going to choose a point of focus. A lot of people find the breath a nice focus because it's always there. Maybe this is your ribs moving as you inhale and exhale, or maybe you feel the air moving by your nostrils. Or you may feel more comfortable giving that focus to your hands on your lap, or feel your feet touching the ground. Whatever your point of focus is, it's fine. Again, no wrong answers here. And so we are going to try to favor that point of focus in our thoughts, whenever possible, coming back to that focus point whenever you can, whenever you notice that your thoughts have wandered. Just noting the in and noting the out, or staying with the heat or the weight of your hands in your lap, or the sensation of your feet on the ground. Your mind will wander. Just gently let it come back to your point of focus. A wandering mind is the nature of our mind. There's nothing wrong with you for having a wandering mind. We are simply practicing the art of noticing that you are thinking and gently leading yourself back to your point of focus. Have you noticed that a thought has captured your attention? You can softly let it go and come back to your focus. There's plenty of time to think that thought another time. Did you get distracted and captured by thoughts again? As you let them go, perhaps you have a sense that you and that thought are separate. The thought can float on by while you remain steady and centered. And now, coming back out, you can slowly open your eyes. So just a few minutes a day of that practice allows me to see thoughts arise and often take hold. And as you do it more and more, you'll start to be able to notice the thoughts arriving, maybe even when you're not meditating. And therein lies the trick. You may be able to sense that there are thoughts and that those thoughts are just thoughts, and you can choose to believe them and incorporate them into the core of your personal operations, or you can let them float on by. To those critical thoughts that tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't do the thing that your heart desires, we say no thank you. Not today. You can float on by. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that my thoughts here on procrastination and negative self-talk help you get through your procrastination struggles. I'd love to hear in the comments below. Or maybe you have other ways that you approach procrastination and you can share them with the community. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.